Welcome to the Nerd Party.
Want to be a part of the Nerd Party community? Don't forget to like our Facebook page at www.facebook.com/thenerdparty and follow us on Twitter at @JoinNerdParty. You can also help us by leaving a rating and comment in Apple Podcasts to help spread Time and Space to other listeners. If you want to contact us, visit thenerdparty.com/contact, click on our show logo, and leave a comment for us there. Time and Space, a Doctor Who podcast. I'm Jessica Nunn.
And I'm her husband and co-host, Philip Gilfus. Well, it's another week of New Who. I was going to say second, I guess, /
technically third, yeah.
Episode of the Series 12 is now on the air. And, of course, we're going to talk about Orphan 55. And here to help us talk all things New Who and the 13th Doctor is Sue Kissenweather. Sue, welcome back.
Thank you so much.
Sure. So, how have you been enjoying, I guess, I was going to say the series, Spyfall. How have you enjoyed Spyfall so far?
I liked Spyfall a lot. Mm-hmm. It was just fun, and it reminded me of the joy that I get from Doctor Who, and I also did not. You've covered it, right? So we're like already in spoilers.
Yep.
I did not expect to see the Master.
No.
So I truly they got me. I was surprised.
Yeah, it was almost, and this isn't a complaint. This is just I thought it was like, oh, you're kind of, using this card too soon, aren't you? But I mean, it's not a complaint. He did it great, and it's great. And so it surprised me that they would just be using that. I was like, oh, okay,
right.
yeah.
Opening episode, here's the Master.
I mean, of course, that's what you would do, but I guess I was like, oh.
Well, and they made such a big deal for Jodie's first series to not repeat any of our old villains. Mm-hmm. That it was just kind of surprising to right away, first episode next season or series. And it looks like we've got another maybe searching for Gallifrey real story arc that may or may not come to fruition because it never really has before. But we'll see what happens, I guess.
Well, I'm just going to get your thoughts on this, Sue. Because yes, we've all seen Chibnall episodes, and we do have one series under our belt. But I mean, at the end of the day, I don't know Chibnall's style. So, we know Davies, we know Moffat. When I see this sort of arc, it's like, well, if Moffat was doing this, it's all timey-wimey, flip and flop, and,
we're not going to know for another 2 years how it ends.
Or something. But so I don't know. I mean, the way I've taken everything is assume nothing is real. Everyone is lying. I mean, that's just so I have an open mind about what any of this will lead to or what it'll be.
Yeah, other than his work on Doctor Who, most of my experience with Chibnall comes from Broadchurch.
Right.
Which, mystery. So that goes hand in hand. But everything, I remember, it's been a while since I watched through it all, but I remember a lot of misdirects and a lot of red herrings. So, we'll see.
Yeah, if he's going his traditional mystery route, that's what we can look for.
It wasn't David Bradley.
It wasn't David Bradley, which is good to know,
yes.
I think.
Yeah. All right, well, let's get into this episode, Orphan 55. Jessica, what are your initial thoughts about the sophomoric effort of Series 12?
Yeah, like I said last week, it immediately made me think of the Doctor and Mel from Old Who, this idea of going on holiday and having it all go wrong. But they don't even get a chance to sit down. I mean, who sits down? Graham sits down. And
I didn't even get a cocktail.
Yeah. And all of a sudden, it is just right into it. And Ryan's been infested with worms and has to suck his thumb to escape it, and it just rolls on from there.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Sue? What do you think of Orphan 55?
I was actually reminded of Midnight.
Okay.
Especially, Donna, who doesn't want to leave the poolside.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yes.
But, in general, for me, the dark, monstery episodes tend to not be necessarily my jam.
Mm-hmm.
So this one, for me, had a little more work to do. But it's interesting where it went.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. So,
what was your initial thought, baby?
It was interesting. So, if I can plug, we have so many podcasts here to plug, but of course, we've always had a few guests from Black Girls Create, and I'm on their Slack. I'm sort of privileged to be on their Slack group, and they have their Who Watch chat.
Oh yeah.
And so I didn't even want to go to bed because we were still commenting on the episode. So it was one of those things where, at first blush, it was fine. I mean, to me, it's not a bad episode in such, faint praise, as you could tell in my voice. But no, I mean, it was, it's action-packed. It's, like you said, Jessica, it's full on 100 miles per hour, maybe too much so. It's kind of like, what's even happening here? It's almost like a full action movie. And then we'll talk about the ending. But, all that, but like any Doctor Who, then you start asking questions 5 minutes after the credits roll. Like, what about? And then suddenly it falls apart a little bit. But, so I almost hesitate to say this. I think it's the worst episode of the 13's run, which is not saying it was horrible, because, and maybe I'm just forgetting, because we did rewatch the Series 11. I mean, there's no ones no, maybe not, because then I think, like, the season ender with the when they found, Tim Shaw again, that one wasn't my favorite necessarily. So anyway, I'll just say it's in the lower 5 of this one. so but again, I'm not saying it's horrible. I'm just saying, they were tried for a lot and things happen. So one of the things I wanted to get into is my headline: a night of too many guest stars. So we had a lot of guest stars, and so we'll talk about how they succeeded or not. First, Hyphen with a 3.
Yep.
What'd you think of her, Sue? And I hope you take this as a compliment. I was like, I can see Sue cosplaying her.
Was she supposed to be a cat?
Well, not in Whoverse, I wouldn't have thought, because their cats tend to look very different. So
nice tail.
The doctor at some point says, "I'll sick a dog on you" or something, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know. I couldn't figure out what she was, but she reminded me of Adie Bryant from Saturday Night Live.
Oh yeah, I know that. Yes.
I mean, she was fine. She's the comedy relief, obviously, in this episode, or maybe one of the sources of it. I think the hyphen with a 3 was kind of cute. Yeah, I don't think there was a ton of substance there with that character, but she did her job.
And as I'm sitting here, what happens to Hyphen with the 3?
Dies.
Does she?
Yeah.
Like early? Because everybody dies.
Yeah.
She dies in the van.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're escaping the van into the, I guess, subway.
Right.
Yeah.
And the dreg gets her then.
Okay.
Do we actually? I mean, and I'm not trying to be. Do we see it? Because
we see it, I believe, grab her feet.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
pull
that
her
sounds...
away.
Yeah.
Yeah, because one thing... Sorry. I feel like I'm going to trash this episode. I don't mean to be so negative. But, like, one thing about this episode is that if taken literally, it's pretty horrific, as I suppose it's meant to be. If it's not taken literally, I think it has deeper layers. Because, for instance, and I'm not saying I really want to see it, but we never see what the Drigs do to the people. Like, it's just snatch and grab.
Yep.
Like, in other words... Maybe they're not. I mean, we know they are, but I'm saying maybe they're not bad folks. Like, as I'm watching the episode, we don't know what's happening.
I was hoping that was going to come into it, because theoretically they are mutated over however long humans, right? Mm-hmm. Isn't that the premise? And so maybe there was going to be some redeeming, no, this isn't Planet of the Apes kind of thing.
Well, when they had Benny,
Benny?
like, I was surprised that we had this conversation with him. So I was thinking maybe this is not so much of a killing situation as it is like a vampiric turning situation.
Oh, yeah.
But that clearly was not the case.
No.
Yeah, and I'll get into that. Yeah. Well, since you mentioned, I mean, I have it in order, but why go in order? So you mentioned Benny. So Benny and Velma. So the thing with Benny, again, I was assuming, and I guess I'm insulting the episode again, to not take things literally. So in other words, and I know y'all know this, I'm just saying stuff. So they detect Benny, bleep, 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 and, going 100 miles per hour. And Velma's like, that doesn't sound like my Benny. But anyway, so, like, literally, what's happening? I don't think that was explained. Like, is he on the back of a Drek who's, like, gunning it? Like, they don't have vans.
Yeah, and then why would they, what is their purpose? Are they just going to kill him? Then why run away with him?
I mean, are they toying with him? Because, I mean, it's actually really, 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 really dark if what literally presented is so. So, I mean, you're supposed to...
Will you marry me and also will you kill me?
Yeah, and so, like, and again, I'm not trying to be grisly. What are they doing to him? So, I mean, like, did they torture him? Does he have, like, is he covered with scratches or is bleeding to death? And I'm not trying to be all grisly, but I'm like, so what's literally happening? And then how is he able to talk very clearly? It's not like he's like, oh, he's like, oh, hello, and so.
For as horror as they wanted to make this, it was not gory.
No.
At all. But also, like, that oxygen tank would not sustain a human in an environment that does not have oxygen. That made me mad. Like, I forgive a lot of bad science in science fiction. You have to. But, like, and I can typically, like, just laugh it off or be like, okay, whatever, that's, like, plot science. But, like, this, come on. He has his own oxygen tank. He has the little tubes up his nose. That is not going to save him in an atmosphere, in a non-breathable atmosphere.
Particularly if you also have to assume that if they're running away with him, they also are running away with his oxygen tank, and they've loaded it all up together, and they've made sure that the oxygen tank is in a safe place where he can still get the things up his nose, and that,
Grab the old man and don't forget his oxygen tank.
Because we're going to kill him in a minute, but we don't want him to suffocate.
There's this great scene we have. Look, we've storyboarded it. I mean, grow.
It felt to me that whole, like, oxygen, carbon dioxide sub-thread was unnecessary. Like, there was enough danger already.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
And how do you evolve to that place?
Yeah, there's an awkward teenage period between that.
Yes, a very awkward teenage space between breathing oxygen and then breathing carbon dioxide.
Right.
Yeah.
Also, and I guess this is again asking too many questions. So, if the breathing apparatuses that the team uses, at the middle in their rescue operation, is a breathe right.
Yeah.
Why doesn't Benny have one of those for his oxygen tank?
Colored in with a Sharpie.
If they exist.
I mean, if they have the technology
thing,
instead of having the old, the 20th century plastic tubing.
Yeah, that's an excellent point with a auto refilled wrist thing.
Yeah.
Gauntlet. That's the word.
Is it though? No. And also, I was asking during during our chat, why? I mean, I know the answer is for story purposes, so therefore I've answered my own question. But like, why take Vilma on the rescue party? Like, okay, we'll go get your husband. You stay here. I don't think she's going to be an asset. Like, let me see her character sheet. What did she bring to the table here?
Well, and one of the things that I struggled with a little bit is all of the people they brought with them inevitably are going to say, I'll stay, you go ahead. Mm-hmm. They're all going to sacrifice themselves. Mm-hmm. And I was like, well, everybody? Really? Because they all do,
right?
Except the perhaps cat lady, who doesn't choose to sacrifice herself, but that's what happens.
Yeah.
But then Vilma's like, no, you guys go ahead, I'll distract them. And then the mom is like, no, you guys go ahead, I'll distract them. And then at the end of it, it's the mom and the daughter fighting them off as our noble four run away.
Yeah, run away.
Yeah.
And again, I don't know, I mean, I could think of something, give me a week, whereas, everybody lives. Because in other words, these snatch and grabs, because I guess what's driving the dregs? I mean, and maybe it's nothing to think about. They're just monsters, deal with it, don't think about it. But I'm like, what, they're just clawing people and that's what they do? I mean, are they eating them or what? Like,
I felt like they were sacrificing good storytelling for climate change.
Right.
And that was it.
We all have to give up something, darling. So,
some of us have given up plastic straws.
Right.
Others of us have given up good storylines.
Yeah. So we're all pitching our part.
Yep.
Thanks, Paris Agreement.
Okay.
Now we've wandered off piste again.
All right. Well, let's pick another guest star. We're only not even halfway through the list, by the way. There was Kane, who I don't think I ever knew her name the whole time, but that was played by Laura Fraser, a.k.a. the Scottish mean person mom.
Oh, right. The woman from Casanova.
Yes. Hard as nails. Grr.
Sacrifices herself.
Yeah. Does she, though?
I don't think I understood what was happening.
Yes, I think that's reasonable.
I think that's reasonable, too.
So she creates the spa on a non-livable planet so that she can make money to terraform the planet to make herself and then her daughter queen of the planet.
I think you understood it about as well as we did. Yeah.
And then her daughter decides to become financially independent and live in another planet.
So much commentary on current events.
From the headlines.
Oh my.
And blow up her mom's planet on the way out the door.
It's a metaphor. I just thought was just because, and I always, I see Laura Fraser. I'm always like, I know her from something. I don't know, and the answer is no, I don't. She just maybe just has that familiar face because Casanova is what we saw her in with David Tennant, which she's very good in. But I'm like, couldn't name you anything else.
No.
I mean, I looked at IMDb and I'm like, nope, don't know any of that. So, but anyway, yeah, again, so bad storytelling, right? So it's like. And I'm with you, Sue, so I don't get the relationship because it sort of springs on, I'm your daughter, or you're my mom. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, that's left field. But okay, let's see where we go. And the answer is nowhere. Like, there's no, I only watched the episode once. Maybe I need to watch it 5 times or something. But there's no,
redemption arc.
Or even just, explanation. This is why I left. Or this is,
To be queen. Keep up.
Yeah, I guess. And then it's like, no, I'll be a mom now. Even though I've ignored you for, I don't know.
Yeah. And also I wonder, how well does she vet the people who are coming onto her planet?
She doesn't do a DNA test.
Well, if they're just giving out coupons, not well.
True point. Yeah.
Also, it wasn't clear where Graham found those coupons at the beginning. Did you say
they were appearing by the coffee maker?
Yeah. In the TARDIS.
Yeah. Which, that also seems sketch.
Yeah.
Although I could get on board with that simply because the Kablam Man showed up.
And the, whatever they were called, the villains from Spyfall.
Were getting in.
Yep.
Yeah.
So.
I could, if that had been the only weak link, I could have lived with that. Tearing the box tops off the cereal.
Yeah, and I guess, I'll keep it going here. So, Bella, who is Kane's daughter, starts off interesting and then takes a turn.
Yes.
What'd you think of her, Jessica?
The thumb sucking was weird.
It was weird.
That's I was up for it all the way through up until Ryan and Bella are making eyes at each other, trying to get a little something in the conversation whilst sucking their thumbs. Also, who told Bella that she had worms and this is what she needed to do?
She brought the worms, we find out later.
Oh, right. Okay. So she knew how to get rid of them.
I would assume.
Right.
Wouldn't she also know how to not get them?
Well, things go wrong.
Okay.
As you can tell, she's not exactly plan A with her. She's like, I hate my mom, so I built a bomb. I'm like, well, that's a technique.
Which was not plan A, because clearly plan A was bring the worms.
Right. I mean, some people just write plays or songs. Or comedy specials, but...
Or drink.
Building a bomb for your mom. There you go. Yeah. I don't know, Sue, your thoughts on the Ryan game. I mean, cute moment for Ryan, but it surprised me where it's sort of the, I don't know, is it a trope? But it's sort of like he awkwardly flirts, and she's like, you're terrible, and he's like, I know, and she's like, oh, but keep going, it's working. I'm like, or he's just terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess. I think it's a trope that, strange person immediately flirting is a thing in and of itself.
Yes, while sucking his thumb.
Yeah.
And then that's how, at the end of it, that's how they have that
moment.
Wink moment is to suck their thumbs again.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't look at Ed Heim's search history is all I can say. The writer of this episode.
I worked with somebody who was a grown-up, and she sucked her thumb. Mm-hmm. She was a teacher, and she sucked her thumb in the staff room. Mm-hmm. And that was a thing that would happen. She'd just sit there in meetings, sucking her thumb. Mm-hmm. And then she had an affair with one of the head teachers who was married and got pregnant.
Oh
so
my.
You're saying they're connected?
I assume they're connected. I'm not making...
I mean, this girl sucked her thumb and had a bomb.
The one I worked with sucked her thumb and had an affair and a baby.
So I don't know what Ryan's going to be doing.
Yeah. Can't wait to see the next episode.
But, I mean, she just seemed... I mean, obviously she's very, seems like a very interesting individual, but then just to be like, no, emotional terrorist, I don't know what to... So I was like, well, that's a loss. And then they sort of like... kind of were trying to redeem her, like, oh no, she's cool now. I'm like, I don't think she is, actually. I mean, she's gonna blow up the place. I mean, I guess with no one there, question mark.
Yeah. But there's no self-actualization.
Yeah.
Of, oh, this isn't the direction I want to go in order to create a relationship with my mother. I should instead fight aliens with her. We don't actually get that. Mm-hmm. She just sort of moves from, I have a bomb, to... my mother and I are fighting aliens side by side.
I mean, this is for you two. Is that daughter-mother bonding stuff?
Well...
Destroying aliens?
Destroying aliens. I mean,
or your future evolutionary...
selves.
Yeah. Is that a thing? Is it like tea rooms and that?
It's not what I do with my mom.
Right.
But everybody has a different relationship.
I just ignore her calls. That's what I do.
That is what you do with... Yeah.
So we're still not finished. So, more guest stars. We have Nevi, played by James Buckley, who I think I was supposed to know, but I don't know who that is. And his son, Silas.
Oh, right, yes. And James Buckley was in, and I looked it up, or I saw a thing and was like, oh yeah, that's what it was, and forgot it again.
So, Sue, my theory on this episode, and obviously you're the expert here, they wanted a range of cosplay opportunities. So they're like, look, if you want to go out with hyphen... with a 3, those are your experts. But maybe you just want to put a breathe right on your nose. Boom, you're done. A middle part, find a green wig.
Yeah, those were not great wigs.
No.
Still not quite as easy as just drawing tick marks all over your arms.
That's true.
Good point.
That's true.
But, I mean, yeah.
Also, I thought this relationship was interesting... But again, I could have minded it for a little bit more because there's the 50 other guest stars we've already gone through. So the dad's an idiot, apparently, and the son's super smart. Mm-hmm. So, and tell me if I got this wrong. The dad and the mom are divorced, and this is like daddy weekend? Is that kind of what I gleaned?
That's what I got from it. And the dad also says he just shows up sometimes. But, if you can only teleport in, does that mean this kid is going around collecting coupons so he can hang out with his dad?
drinking way too much coffee for a kid his age.
Yeah. Well, maybe he's 22 and all that coffee just makes him really short.
Stunts his growth.
Yeah.
Because my question comes, if the kid isn't around, what the hell is this dad doing with all the other stuff? That's why the aliens get in. Yeah. This guy doesn't know what he's doing. The son's cleaning up his mess every moment.
Yep.
You know, his dad's like Mr. Magoo or something.
And again, we have this sharp turn of, no, you don't know what you're doing, bugger off, and the kid goes off and then comes back and the dad's like, oh, sorry, you do it. There's no...
Relationship healed.
Yeah, there's no shape to it at all.
There's a lot of parent issues in this one.
There are. Yeah.
And I'm trying to remember...
Maybe that explains the thumb sucking. It's a metaphor.
Because Ed Heim... Oh, great, I feel like I'm going to get this wrong when I look this up. Did he also write Norway episode?
In which case, I'd like to look at his relationship with his parents.
Because that one also had parental issues. It does. It takes you away. Sorry, I just Googled that. He wrote it. It takes you away from series 11, which, as you recall, is with the dad and the daughter who's blind, and that was parenting issues.
So, as you say, people with parenting issues
write TV episodes,
write television episodes. Yes.
Okay. So, yeah, and then there's frogs. So yeah, so those were all our guest stars. So we haven't even actually talked about the main cast yet. So so here we go. So the overall story, which we've kind of talked to, how did you enjoy, Sue, that discovering that the spa was actually a small holodeck?
I thought that was kind of neat, especially the concept of, you know, these were designed for cities, so you didn't actually have to leave. Mm-hmm. And like, nerd alert, but like that was the concept. I live in New York City, but that was the concept for Central Park, right? The idea that you could go into this park in the middle of Manhattan and forget that you were in a city, and that you weren't supposed to see originally. You weren't supposed to see any of the buildings. The tree line would be taller than any of the buildings originally. And it's kind of a really fascinating history in park design if anybody ever wants to look into it. But that's where it took my brain. And like, I also wouldn't mind that today, to like be able to go to a holodeck and not actually have to get on a plane to go on like a tropical vacation. But like, if they put it on another planet, like, why is that appealing? I guess discounts is the main thing, right?
Yeah, I guess that's how they're ginning up business. Because I'm, and again, maybe you need to watch it more than once. Because I was thinking, okay, spa, and maybe in my mind I was sort of thinking like this is supposed to be the Ryza of Doctor Who, but it's obviously quite small. I mean, it's like, what is it, 25 people or 23, you know, residents or whatever you call it,
something like
guests.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, well, that is quite small then. I mean, you know, how many people are coming at a time then, or teleporting?
Again, then why is it a surprise that Kane's daughter is there if there are that few people?
Yeah, I mean, you would have seen her. And
yeah, noticed her in the cafeteria or something.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so yeah.
Well, she does say to her, you don't even recognize me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while when one gleans. So, yeah, I think we've talked about the dregs themselves. I don't know anything other to say. It was those were monsters.
Give a hoot, don't pollute.
Yes.
So was the idea that they're literally like, forgive me, but the dregs of humanity? Like, they're the people who could not afford to get off the planet? And
Interesting.
like, what was left over?
Yeah, and
that's the presumption. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. I mean, they sort of present it as like, oh, it's just humans and they evolved, but I mean that certainly would not be the biggest leap to take, which obviously is not the best name to give them. It was just very. They remind me a little bit of the. Oh God, now I forgot what they're called. From Torchwood, main monster alien. You know, they always keep it in the jail or whatever. That comes from the. I forget what the names are. Anyway.
Yes, in shape.
Yeah, you know what I talk about.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
They're a little more hairier than these folks, but it also, it's just. I would have preferred. And I mean, whatever. I would have preferred them to have some sort of like clothing or something. Or maybe that's just supposed to be armor or exoskeleton, or it just seems like a whole suit kind of makes it I don't know, because the teeth and the snarling and the drool, yeah, that's as scary as I suppose. But like giving him a little bit of detail, I think would have been a little more character driven. But I don't know.
The ability to be able to say some sort of
humanity.
Yes, remainder of humanity. Yeah, that would have been useful instead of all Planet of the Apes. There's the Statue of Liberty.
It was Earth all along.
Yeah.
There's the Russian subway station.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was Russia all along.
Or Ukrainian? I forget.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so let's do this.
Slovakian?
So that ending, climate change, guys. Which I don't know. I mean, I'm not trying to whatever. But so, what do you think, Sue? Was this force of nature all over again, or what do you think?
I just to be honest. I'm glad to hear you have similar opinions to me, because I always wonder. I have had the experiences of going on a podcast and finding out that I'm in the minority. But it didn't really do it for me. It didn't even truly hold my attention as I was watching it, which is for how excited I am to see this Doctor come back and see the new stories is disappointing to me. And then, it suddenly, I don't know if you're ready to go there.
Sure.
Then
go ahead.
suddenly got, preachier than Doctor Who has been, at least in my opinion, in quite a long time. And, directly breaking the fourth wall, speaking to the audience. You need to get your stuff together, humanity.
Yep.
Yeah. And,
Which I don't disagree with.
Yeah, we're all in that position of we don't disagree, but it's there's just ways to do it, of course. I mean, because I'm thinking of all the Star Trek episodes like Force of Nature on TNG, and then the infamous season 1 drug episode with your but then you think of all the other. I mean, in Doctor Who, of course, it's a Doctor Who podcast, but in Star Trek they can do these things without being that.
Heavy-handed,
liminal,
yeah.
But at the same time, I think that we sometimes forget how heavy-handed Star Trek has been, and how heavy-handed Doctor Who has been. I mean, look at the Star Trek example. Oh my gosh, it left my head. The black and white guys.
Sharon, I just can't think of the.
But they literally are what are you talking about? It is obvious how different we are. Yes, let this be your last battlefield. Thank you. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But this was prolonged and sudden, and I feel like that message could have come across anyway, regardless of if that speech had been made. But it also sort of took me out of it when the Doctor says, "This is only one possible future," which
oh boy, yeah.
I'm not sure I have ever really heard that before. We've heard that events can be changed, but there are fixed points.
Right.
But this is only one possible future. That is some Q continuum stuff right there.
As you're fond of saying, there are always possibilities. Yeah, that's because I'm just thinking, sci-fi. I mean, sci-fi obviously is all about metaphor of telling a message without telling the message.
Right.
Why make it Earth? I mean, I know that's supposed to be it's Earth, but don't make it Earth, and it works fine. This planet, they could have changed course, but they didn't. Man, I hope other planets don't do that. And then it's okay, I get what you're saying. But instead of this is Earth, literally the Earth that we are on right now, and this is what will happen. I'm okay. Because, again, like you said, I don't know. And I know Doctor Who, I approach Doctor Who and Trek differently. So Doctor Who, I don't, canon and continuity, whatever. I can work with it. It doesn't matter. But they've done future Earth stories before. We've seen Earth explode, with the Ninth Doctor, Cassandra, and all that, and we've Earth the future in various times and sundries. But I've never heard this part before, and then so it's just to be yep, this is it, or maybe it's not, and it's
right. But you're I mean, sci-fi exists to... Stories exist to hold a mirror up to our society, right? And to make us think about big questions and to make us examine things and to, I don't know, maybe take a different look at what we are doing or to teach us a lesson. Like these are from the oldest of stories, right? We have our fairy tales that are supposed to teach us when we're young. We have, the Iliad and the Odyssey, which were all metaphors and et cetera, et cetera. But I think so I have no problem with the show wanting to make this statement. And it is a statement that I also agree with. Mm-hmm. I think that the issue comes in the very abrupt and sharp turn with how direct it was. With the way they did it, and not that they did it at all.
Yes,
and
I would agree with that.
And then and again, I mean, I don't know, because I feel like you don't want to critique unless I'm like, I could write the episode, give me a week. But like, I think the most powerful, and to me, and I had a brief Twitter discussion about this, and Sue, you can probably maybe you're better about this than I am, but like, I don't often look to Doctor Who for morality tales. I mean, that's just me as my Doctor Who fandom. To me, it's an adventure series. There's emotional times, but I don't necessarily look for it to teach me a lesson like I do with Star Trek. But I think if with these kind of message stories, you have to make the audience feel something, and so whether it's a story about racism like they've done in Star Trek, or poverty like they did in Deep Space Nine, or whatever, and some of them are more successful than others. You kind of doing the emotional journey. With this one, it's like, there's monsters, they killed people. Well, you learned your lesson, didn't you? I'm like, I don't think I learned anything.
Yeah.
How are you taking me on an emotional journey where you're even thinking like climate change? Like, because honestly, it was so, and I'm not saying tacked on, but it doesn't feel like the answer could have been anything. Like,
it's jarring.
Overpopulation, that was the problem,
right, yeah.
Or anything.
Nuclear war, that was the problem.
And so it's like, okay.
So, I feel like, and this is just my opinion,
sure,
that Star Trek sets out to give lessons or ask questions about large, encompassing things about overpopulation or climate change or racism, about systemic issues or about directions society might be heading in. And as it's doing that, it tells us deeply personal individual stories. And I feel that Doctor Who's strength is the opposite. Doctor Who tells me about the humanity of the individual characters. And at its best, it is also reflecting the issues that we deal with in our society.
Yeah.
And I think the focus is just is different between these two shows. And I don't think this episode knew where to set that focus. There was so much going on and so many threads and so many interwoven little bits of story.
Yes, I agree with that 100%. I think it was too breakneck to really then, like, if it had been just the four of them and they were trying to figure out what happened to the planet, why is it an orphan, why did it die, if that were the overarching theme, then we can, climate change, we can get to that place. But instead they just chucked a bunch of people at us fighting, sacrificing themselves.
Yeah.
And there you go. And then, climate change.
Yeah, because to me, and there's well, not a million, but there's several ways you can go with climate change. In other words, is it just making awareness? Which, I mean, I don't know. I was going to say we're all pretty aware, but maybe none of us are.
Yeah.
But anyway, we'll just pretend for a moment that we're all pretty aware of it. I'm talking, but so then what do you do? Like, what's the message that what should be done, or what should we think about, or what should we be contemplating? Because I even took this story as bad parenting. Because think of the children,
yeah.
Does she ever actually say it's climate change?
I feel like she does.
I want to say yes, too, but again, I only watched it once. So you can feel free to correct
I
me.
feel like at the end, when they're in the TARDIS...
I almost really expected her to, like, pull up a TV screen in the TARDIS and be like, this is what's happening, But, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I felt like my memory says that it was much more like, if you don't start taking care of your planet, if you don't change your ways. So it like heavily implies climate change, but I didn't think she actually ever said the phrase. So if you really wanted to, you could probably interpret it as famine or disease or war or overpopulation.
Yeah, because even the, I'm trying to remember what the doctor did. Was it with the head mean monster? She did her Vulcan mind meld or something and got the glimpses. I'm like, the flashes showed me nothing. By the way, I was like, flash, flash, flash. I'm like, those were all stock footage. Not to depress everyone. Well, any Jessica, any highlights from this episode that we've missed with, especially with the main cast that we've kind of ignored? Doctor, besides Thumbsucking Ryan, Yaz, Graham.
No, not really.
Mm-hmm.
They do not get a whole lot going on there.
Yeah, I mean, other than Yaz interrupting the proposal.
Yeah.
So
She's doing a lot of, wait, I'm not allowed to say that word, am I? She's doing a lot of asterisk blocking in this episode.
That's true.
So, the old couple, Ryan and Bella, come on, Yaz.
So I looked up, because I can't let it go,
Sure.
the actual text.
Okay.
No, please.
Yeah.
We're textualists.
And she says, I know what you're thinking, but it's one possible future. It's one timeline. You want to tell me that... Oh, excuse me. You want me to tell you that Earth's going to be okay, because I can't. In your time, humanity's busy arguing over the washing up while the house burns down. Unless people face the facts and change, catastrophe is coming. But it's not decided. You know that. The future is not fixed. It depends on billions of decisions and actions and people stepping up. Humans, I think you forget how powerful you are. Lives change worlds. People can save planets or wreck them. That's the choice. Be the best of humanity. Never says the words, but it's pretty clear with the other words, like while the house burns down, what is being referred to, I think.
And again, I mean, I'll just say what I'm thinking. So, I know the purpose of saying it to the companions is to say it to the audience, but then I'm like thinking, Graham's like, right, I'll take the recycling out. I mean, like, I don't know what they're supposed to do, those three people, but I get it. She's talking to the audience. But again, what were we watching? Oh, I know what it was. We were watching the, we always like to watch the YouTube pitch YouTube videos with the from Screen Rant, and the guy's like, "Oh yes, we're supposed to tell, not show." He's like, "No, I think you flipped that one." So, but anyway, so yeah. Well, any other Sue? Any highlights from the main cast or anything else? We hate to end on down notes here, but maybe it is what it is.
Yay, female doctor!
I did really enjoy the extraction of the Hopper virus.
Oh, yes. That was a good comic scene with Ryan.
Yes.
Poor Ryan. But yes, it was funny still. The hallucinations, the bats aren't real.
And then watching him duck the bats for a while, which I thought was great.
But I do also feel like, I get the impression anyway, that Jodie seems more comfortable in the Doctor's skin. But maybe I'm projecting that.
Always said, and I know this isn't an original opinion, but I've always said, even when I started watching Classic Who and going back, no matter how bad the story is, and the Classic has some bad ones, as long as the Doctor is watchable, it's good. As long as I'm enjoying the Doctor, and maybe the companions, some of them are lame too, but as long as I'm enjoying the Doctor, so like the fifth Doctor, Peter Davison is one of my favorite Doctors, does not have a lot of great stories, in my opinion, but I like him, and I like to watch him, and so, like for this one, I like Jodie and the 13th Doctor, so, yeah, and like I said, this one isn't horrible, it's just a lot of holes we can poke in it, but I enjoy watching her do her thing, so.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. And I do like the companions, though. One day that Yaz episode's gonna come.
Are you not counting Demons of the Punjab as a Yaz episode?
I'm not. It still wasn't about her. I mean, it was about her.
I guess that's true.
I mean, It should have been, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
Her relatives had more time than her. I mean, great episode. Wonderful episode. But
not a yes.
Not a yes episode.
That's true. I mean, we do learn more about her there than we really ever have.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
But, yeah. Oh, yikes.
Yeah, I know, right? There really just has to be, I mean, Chibnall, if you're listening, and I know you are, and I know this whole entire series is already in the can, but nevertheless, just have the Yaz episode, literally. Just Yaz. I mean,
you can even call it Just Yaz.
Yeah, like it's like Lower Decks, but with Yaz. It's just her day in the life, or the Buffy episode with just Xander.
That would be interesting, actually, just to follow her around while all the crap's going on in the background.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just assuming at this point that all of the Time and Space listeners are also Star Trek fans.
Well, I'm half of it, so,
Those are the moments where I just sit back on the couch.
I mean, Jessica, you're more than welcome to make Grey's Anatomy metaphors.
Don't be condescending, darling. So it's like that This Is Us episode.
Okay, here we go.
Hey, I can roll with that, too.
Hey, yeah.
I guess, what do you, since we have you on, Sue, anything especially you have in your mind for Series 12 that you're looking forward to? We just have a few hints, not really much, but anything you're hoping on or just along for the ride?
I mean, mostly just along for the ride. I hate to admit it, but, I kind of forgot it was coming.
It's been a year. It's been a year. Yeah.
There's been a lot of stuff going on, but, I mean, it seems like at the end of Spyfall that we got a setup for an arc, which we talked about, at the start of this. For once, I really would like to see something come of this. I would like to figure out what is actually going on with Gallifrey. Mm-hmm. Maybe we get some more Time Lords back. Who knows? But I have to admit I'm a little bit over the hand-wringing over the Time War.
Right.
And whatever the conclusion is, I kind of would like us to move on from that. But maybe I'm alone. Who knows?
All right, Sue, if folks want to talk to you more about great political messages in the last 5 minutes of an episode, where can they find you on the internet?
Sure. You can hear me talk about Star Trek on the Women at Warp podcast on the Roddenberry Podcast Network. Find us at womenatwarp.com or on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at Women at Warp. I personally am on Twitter at Spaltor. That's Spaltor. And if you want, you can follow my cats on Instagram. Their account is Noodle Bean Potato.
Amazing. That's going to be the thing that's going to get me on Instagram is my cat need. I need somewhere to put all my cat pics.
Right.
I like it.
Exactly.
Cool. Well, thank you very much, Sue.
Thank you.
All right, and with that, we'll go into the TARDIS library.
Whoosh, whoosh.
When you close your eyes,
I go to the library.
go to the library now.
So for this Into the TARDIS library, we're going to be talking about something not necessarily Doctor Who, but Doctor Who related, with Mark Gatiss and Stephen Moffat, who of course did Sherlock, and of course who have done lots of Doctor Who, separately, and I guess somewhat together. But that is, of course, we're going to be talking about their new, mini-series or series?
Series. Yeah.
Dracula.
Yes. Dun, dun, dun.
It premiered New Year's Day of 2020. And it's 3 episodes. We've only seen the first episode, The Rules of the Beast.
Because they are like an hour and a half. They are Sherlock length.
Right. So, I have a little synopsis here from the old wiki. This series follows Dracula from his origins in Eastern Europe to his battles with Van Helsing's descendants and beyond. Netflix description reads, "The Count Dracula legend transforms with new tales that flesh out the vampire's gory crimes and bring his vulnerability into the light." So, darling, what did you think of the first episode?
Yeah, it was intense, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was full on. It was full on.
In typical, and I kind of liked this, in typical Dracula form, as the actual novel goes, a lot of it's told in flashback.
Right. The letters. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so I appreciated that nod to Bram Stoker. Other than that, it sort of veers wildly, which is fine.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I don't, as far as that goes, and I enjoyed this. This is not me dragging on this particular show. If you're going to go that far off the book, why not just write a vampire novel or a vampire show? Why does it have to be Dracula?
I mean, I guess there's a money side of it. It's easier to get Dracula greenlit than Vampire X, which actually that's an anime, so never mind. But Vampire Y. Hunter Vampire X is really good anime. But anyway, maybe that's why.
Yeah.
Because you can just couch it in existing characters.
Yeah, recognizable.
Darling, Van Helsing's a girl now.
Van Helsing. Well, the thing that you were just looking at was Van Helsing's descendant.
That's true. Well, because we don't know if she made it at the end of episode
That's
1.
also true. Yeah. She's also apparently a nun.
Yeah.
Ish. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was interesting, right? That's always a word that doesn't mean anything. Because, like, to say I liked it, I don't know. I didn't hate it. I was intrigued to see where it was going. There were portions where I'm like, this is a little self-indulgent. Like the part with Van Helsing. I mean, we find that at the end. That's who she is. Van Helsing, nun Van Helsing, sister Van Helsing.
Sister Van Helsing. Yeah.
And Dracula at the gate for like a scene that felt like it lasted 30 minutes. I'm like, okay, all right, we can wrap this up now.
Yeah, and she's taunting him, and I'm like, that's not a good idea. Why are you not just stabbing him?
Yeah. And
I know that the reason she's not just stabbing is because she wants to figure him out. But, that is
she's monologuing.
That is the plot line for every bad romance novel and every bad true crime novel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's monologuing. It's never going to end well.
Yeah. I mean, it could have been an hour episode if we kind of shortened that part. We're right there.
Yeah. And he's naked the whole time.
Yeah. The whole coming out of the wolf seemed unnecessary.
Yeah.
If he just changed into why do we have to do that?
Yeah, but he has to unzip him and bleed and be naked.
I mean, how long did it take him to get into that form, I guess is my question.
Oh, another good question.
It's like it takes him 15 minutes to get out of it.
Yep.
I don't know. It just seems like, and then there's an animal carcass. I don't know.
Yeah,
I have questions.
Also, let's be honest. First of all, she doesn't stake him. Then, when he actually, minor spoiler, I suppose, but it's coming. When he actually gets in there with all these nuns who are warriors, she just runs,
right,
and leaves him to it.
Yeah, and that was,
and then later on is like, oh, the screaming's finally stopped.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I certainly watch my share of violent movies, but this one was just a little too much for me, I think. It's like, because the taunting, and it's one of those factor things of like, when the nuns, keep him out with the old vampire thing of you have to invite someone in, then it's like, okay, maybe they're winning. But then the longer she talks, the more like, oh God, they're all going to die, aren't they?
Every one of them.
They're all going to die, aren't they?
Yep.
And then you see them, and it's just like, ugh, I mean, that's not cool, right?
Not cool.
And then just the wolves and the Dracula. And
the bit where the fly crawls around behind that guy's eyeball.
Okay, the whole fly motif was a little much for me. I mean, I get it. But, I get it. So don't do it the whole episode, please. So there's flies everywhere. Though I think...
and then the guy peels his fingernail off.
That's true, yeah. That one, I mean, whatever, I can look away. But, for the nun killing scene the last 5 minutes. It was interesting having... I mean, I haven't read the book in years, but pretending I know what the story is, to see where it deviates, and I think I know where it's going. Oh, I don't know where it's going, but I think I know where it's going. Where the vampire brides, or the I don't know what they're called in the book, but being in the castle, and then him, and then I guess Dracula is trying to figure out how to reproduce, and then Harker, and then
this is not a baby.
Yeah, I did like the twist of you thought Harker defected because of what he wrote, but then he didn't. But then why did he write it? But then, so I don't know. And then I guess the twist that there was Van Helsing was a little bit of a twist. That her character to me was a little OTT as well. I don't know. I guess I saw we're trying to be clever, and because look, it's Moffat and Gatiss. They obviously are great writers. But so I mean, I'm certainly interested to see where it goes from there, because obviously it ended on a cliffhanger. I was like, well, did everyone just die, or
Everybody just died.
yeah? And then where are we going from here? You know, is the Harker and Mina Van Helsing story over, and then we're moving to the second chapter as Dracula travels to London or wherever he's going, England.
Yeah,
So,
who knows?
I think
We will watch the second one, I think, at least.
No, I think so. I did think it was interesting that kind of playing with the theme, which is kind of like with a Sherlock, you know, there's a story, but we played with it to make it our own.
Yeah.
The whole taking blood and then becoming a little bit of the person that you're taking the blood from, so the memories or whatever, but that Dracula has, you know, suddenly a London accent.
Oh, right, yes. He was learning the language.
From Jonathan.
Yes.
And so it's just interesting, because I don't know the actor, so I don't know if that's his natural... I mean, I don't know anything about him, where his background is, but to make him sound, you know, that English was very interesting. You know, you always think Dracula having that, you know, Transylvanian accent, but then at the end he's just this sort of brawler villain kind of accent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, bless.
So, yeah, so it was interesting. I mean, if you're not for the gore or the horror, then definitely maybe take a pass on this one. I guess it's worth checking out, at least the first. We'll see. Maybe by episode 3 we'll be like, stay away. So we'll see. Cool.
Yep.
All right. Well, darling, guess what we're talking about next week?
Tesla.
That's right. Nikola Tesla's Night of Terror. Perhaps one of the longest Doctor Who episode titles.
Oh, really? Okay.
I mean, do you know any other?
I don't know. I don't remember titles, so you're better at that than I am.
All right. Well, as always, thanks to Wally and Sononauts for providing us with their Doctor Who jazz theme tune. And until next week, enjoy the Doctor's many adventures throughout
Time and space.
This is BBC Television.